Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Well, we'd like to welcome Houston Bernard today, who's playing on Music Row with us today. Thank you, Houston, for taking the time to speak with us. I know you're very
Thanks for
busy.
having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Hey, let's get started here. I know you come from a family that has very deep roots in country music, and maybe you can give us a little bit of a background on that and maybe how it influenced you.
Sure. My father, my uncle, they all played country music, but my father and my uncle had, 7 other siblings, and they all played as well. But my dad and my uncle did it professionally. They were in Nashville, and they used to back up acts like Wanda Jackson and Dave Dudley, Tanya Tucker, and they made a life of it for the most part. My dad still plays a little bit. He sings, and then my uncle passed years ago. But yeah, everyone kind of played country music, and I didn't grow up with my father. So I finally met him when I was about 19, but I was playing music. My dad met my mom touring in Massachusetts. He was a broke musician, so we ended up rejoining the army and sent us up to Alaska. So I lived there until I was a teenager, and then we moved to where my mom's when they split up. We moved to Massachusetts, where my mom's from, and I played a lot of different styles of music. And about 10 years ago, I decided to I got the bug to start doing some country music, some outlaw country music actually, and from there it grew. And 11 years later, I'll be releasing my 6th country album this year, and I'm just pushing away.
Does your dad play with you at all when you do any kind of shows?
No, he lives down in Oklahoma. I'm actually based still in the Northeast. I travel a lot. I'm actually going to Texas next week for a radio tour. I've got songs chart down there, but I played with my dad a couple times. When I first met him, I sat, or for the second time, I sat in with his band and played some songs, and that was pretty cool.
Okay. Well, what you have a new release which is called Ditch This Town. Is that released already, or is that going to be
Yeah,
released?
yeah, I released that. That's charting in Texas right now. That's what I'm going down
Okay.
to help promote. And then on Friday, I have an EP that's coming out, and I'll have another song released. I just keep releasing. This year, I'll be releasing a lot of music.
Okay. Well, maybe can you give us a little bit of a background on this Ditch This Town? Because we're actually gonna play the video on that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so Ditch This Town is basically, about, you know, being in love with someone, and you both have dreams, you're young people, and you're wondering whether or not you should, because she ran off to go follow her dreams, and I'm wondering whether or not I should follow her or stay in the town. And when I realized there was nothing left for me in the town, so I chased. Didn't pan out, but
Okay. It sounds like a true
but
story.
it's based on a true story. Let's call
Okay.
it that.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to Ditch This Town by Houston Bernard.
Baby, I know you ain't coming back here. The dream in your head put my world in your rear view. It's all I can think about. I try to see me with my truck all packed up on the interstate, not looking back for who I was before you moved out. Should have stayed here or go. Lock the door and hit the road. 'Cause I can be a small town guy in a big town city, fall asleep with you every night when the lights go out. If I ditch this town, I fly, I'll dip my toe in the water, see if Nashville fits me, if I really ought to be chasing you all over the place. So I put a sign in the window of my granddaddy's store, so there ain't nothing holding me here no more. Would you want me to move down that way? Should I stay here or go? Lock the door and hit the road, 'cause I can be your small town guy in a big town city, fall asleep with you every night when the lights go out. If I ditch this town, maybe I never knew the only thing here for me was you. Should I stay here or go? Lock the door and hit the road, 'cause I can be your small town guy in a big time city, fall asleep with you every night when the lights go out. If I ditch this town, yeah, if I ditch this town.
Excellent. Where was that recorded? Yes.
I recorded that in Nashville with Bill McDermott at the oh, I'm blanking. It's right near Losers. It's everybody. So many people record it.
Oh,
I
in
always
Omni,
forget.
maybe Omni or something like that?
Omni, yes, Omni. Oh my gosh, blanked. Been there many times.
Okay, that's a great place. Let me ask you this question. When did you start writing songs?
Oh, I started writing songs. I was actually the little jingles when I was 5 years old. I just kept writing and writing and writing, and actually, I was just looking over some old stuff, and I have this book that I wrote a short story when I was like fifth grade, and it says about the author, and it says I write stories and songs, and I was like, I don't remember being 10 years old writing songs, but I don't remember everything either. So I've been doing it a long time. Um, I haven't been focused on just that. I've been focused on other things. I think when you really focus on uh, something, your art, and you get better and better and better. And I think I have gotten better, but my focus has also been on singing and musicianship, and I also run another business, and so I was in the army for a while too, so a lot of different focuses. So I didn't get, sit down every day and write like a lot of these amazing writers do. But when I feel inspired, um, I I hash out a song and then I try to improve it the best I can, and that's what you're hearing.
Okay. Where do you find you get your ideas? I know you mentioned the first one was kind of like a real life from life, but where do you get your other ideas?
Yeah, so just be inspired really. I know a lot of professional writers write every day, and a writer friend of mine I know once said that he feels like he started feeling like he was writing the same song over and over again, right? And so I
Mhm.
wait till I find some inspiration, whatever that might be. It could be, I don't know. One of the most recent songs I wrote was about, there's a song called Broken. And I was just really inspired about how uh, people that, grow up with a certain foundation and it's not really a stable foundation and just kind of like their whole life is just kind of off because of bad decisions, because they haven't been able to heal properly, or maybe they keep resorting back to that feeling of just feeling broken. You go, well, why am I like this? Because I'm broken. I'm broken. I feel like a lot of people can relate with that, but I was, it was telling about myself really, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I grew up in a difficult situation, and it doesn't ever leave you. It's like your foundation. It's like when you build a home, if you got a shaky foundation, pieces start falling off, or you're just little unhinged on occasion. You're like, oh, what's wrong with me? So, well, you didn't have such a great foundation, so you're going to have these issues. So you have to develop uh, mechanisms in your personality and your life to try to deal with that broken behavior or those broken feelings. So that'll be on the next album. That'll be on the album I'm releasing on Veterans Day. That's an 11-song album, and that's got some real deep stuff. So
Okay. Um, well, how would you describe your sound?
I call it Heartland Country. Um, that's I'm inspired mostly when I go. I love all different styles of music and different uh, genres and different generations of music. I'm always uh, moved by people's voices when it's really honest. But for me, Heartland, I'm inspired by like that the era 83, 80, 45 with Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen, and that just kind of like, I was doing the right thing, working hard, you know. It feels like that should be enough to do those types of things. So like those basic, your word is your word. You say you're going to be somewhere, you're there. That kind of thing. And I find that rare these days. And so I kind of feel like Heartland country music is my vibe. Like if you don't have cash, can't pay for it with cash, and you don't really need it that bad. You know, of course, a house is different.
Yeah.
That's like one of the exceptions where you're like,
I
I always
see.
try to save up for things. I work hard, and I don't buy things unless I can pay for
Oh, you're from back in the 50s.
it.
Um, okay, this is you have a song which is uh, uh People We Are, which has a lot of hits and views on YouTube. Can you tell us about that? Because we're actually going to play that song as well.
Sure, sure. That song was written. Hold on a sec. I just want to get the right writers. I'm going to quote you on here. So I record my own songs, I write my own songs, but I also record a lot of other people's songs. People We Are was written by Cole Taylor and Kim Penz, and Cole Taylor has a bunch of number one hits like Jason Aldean and people like that, and somehow we got a hold of that song, and actually that was one of the lines from the song. If you can't pay cash, you don't need it that bad. I love
Yeah.
that. I was like, oh, this song's for me.
Well, that's good. Okay. Well, let's when did you record this before we play it?
I want to say it was December 2019.
Okay. So it's fairly recent. Yeah, this is a great video too. Let's take a listen to People We Are by Houston Bernard.
We try to do the right thing. I think maybe someday it'll come back around. Oh, with everything that life brings, we've had our share of ups and downs. But we know where we're from and don't stop till it's done. It's sun up to sundown. Life in a little town. We're a little bit of hell, yeah, and a little bit of amen. A whole lot of work hard and throw in a little bit of playing. With the barbed wire on the fence post, tractor trucking on a county road, down in the heartland of the stripes and stars. Yeah, that's the kind of people, that's the kind of people we are. Get a piece of mind on a piece of land. If you can't pay cash, you don't need it that bad. We look you in the eye and shake your hand. trucking on a county road, down in the heartland of the stripes and stars. Yeah, that's the kind of people, that's the kind of people we are. We know where we're from, and don't stop till it's done. It's sun up to sundown, life in a little town. We're a little bit of hell, yeah, and a little bit of amen. A whole lot of work hard and throw in a little bit of play in. With a barbed wire on the fence post, tractor trucking on a county road, down in the heartland of the stripes and stars. Yeah, that's the kind of people, that's the kind of people, that's the kind of people, that's the kind of people we are. Yeah, that's the kind of people we are. Yeah, that's the kind of people we
All right, great. Great. Let me ask this question. Maybe just real quickly, can you tell us like who helped you with that particular video? Anybody want to give some credit to them?
Oh, sure. I've been working with one of the same videographer for years. His name is Ernesto Galan, and he actually does all the Boston Ballet stuff. We shot that during COVID, and there was like nobody out. That's why you don't see you
Uh-huh.
don't see a lot of people
Uh,
in the video with me. But yeah, he's great. And then actually my manager, um, Kim Patterson, had some input on that too.
Okay. Well,
A
you
lot of
mentioned
input.
you mentioned your manager. How about you have a promotional team? Who are like the players on your promotional team?
We're all kind of work together. There's nobody additional for promo. Actually, that's not true. Ed Spacek is my Texas radio promoter.
Okay. Okay. Um, It's just, when did you begin performing? Because you mentioned you had a whole bunch of things, went in the army, etc. When did you actually begin performing?
Oh, I started professionally performing when I was about 12, 13 years old. I was singing in malls, and I say professional meaning getting paid.
Okay.
I was singing in old folks' homes and wherever I could.
Okay. Uh, okay. Now look at the list here. We're going to shut this out here. We're going to put it a little differently, but who are some of the artists that have shared the bill with you?
Oh, interesting. Well, I've played with a lot of people. Um, I'm pretty excited about sharing a bill, not the same stage, but a side stage with Cody Johnson coming up in September. I'm doing that. I shared the stage with Montgomery Gentry, um, Old Dominion, um, different different bills. There's been so many. Jimmy Allen, uh, Easton Corbin. Um, Pure Prairie League, I did a couple shows with. I've also the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker. I opened up for 38 Special when Marshall Tucker got COVID last year in Maine. That was awesome. I had a 3-day notice to put together a band.
Mhm.
That was crazy. So
Okay.
lots of amazing people.
Okay.
Clint Black.
Oh, that's cool. Well, guy has got a who's who of everybody. Yeah, I see that you've done a lot of performing and you're obviously very good at it. So are you going to be doing
Thank you.
any touring in support of the releases that you have coming out now?
Yeah, I've got a lot of dates. You could check out at houstonbernard.com. I'm doing a lot of private parties because things cost money, and private parties pay pretty well. Um, and I'm doing a lot of traveling. I'll be doing, like I said, Texas for a radio tour. There's no pay in that, right? It's all investment. I'm independent, and so I go out there and I'll say hello to all the people that are playing my Dish This Town, and then I'll be out in San Diego again. I was just out there, and I'm coming to Nashville for AIBA in October. Actually, I just booked the flights for that and in the hotel. And so hopefully I'll meet some more booking agents and get around the country a little more. I was booked in Europe for an award show that I was awarded, but then I got offered really good pay. I got offered really paying a good paying a show, so I had to take it. You know, you gotta I have to balance things like that sometimes. I'd love to go back to Europe. It's been a long time and to perform too. But it's like one song at an award show. It would be great if I had a tour, then hit the award show, you know.
Yes.
But I haven't had much luck booking festivals in Europe as of yet, or late, I should say.
Okay. Okay. Um, so I've asked a lot of questions of you. Is there anything that I haven't asked that you would like to tell the listening audience?
Um, Not really, but except for thank you for listening and thank you for the interest in my music. I've been doing it a long time and to be able to still be able to do it and have a fire and hopefully improve what I'm doing and connect with people more. It means a lot to me. So really, I just want to say thank you for the interest.
Okay. Well, you mentioned your website. Is that the best way for people to get in touch with you, or
For
well,
sure.
how okay, your website?
Yeah, website houstonbernard.com, but I'm on all the, major socials, trying to keep up with those.
Okay. Well, I tell you, we want to thank you so much, Houston, for taking the time. I know you're very busy today, and we appreciate you taking time out of your day to visit with us.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome.